you wanna know me? I stay low key, I'll cast no breaks, baby, let them hoes sleep. Body on 10, make you feel empty. I get in my way, never out of my way. Unless you want more words. So baby, baby, swallow. In the flow, please. Riding on that beat, got what you need. Baby, won't you do something for me? Give me something to do when I get lonely. Something to do when we get lonely. Then I hit the town, you can count on me. Keep your mind on me. On the side, baby, never get inside with me. Say it's solid one time if you lie with me. Just promise you never lie to me. You can move on, but I know it's all right. Everything good, keep the vibe on fire. I know it's all good. I know it's all good. I know it's all good.
Not focus, not focus.
I made it where I'm at on my own. Had a couple blocks in the road, but I get to the bag on the low. I be counting stacks while they grow. Yeah, you know me, baby. Won't you keep me company? Give me something to do when I get lonely. I got something for you when we get home. If you let me put it down.
What's up, Matoy Mob? It's your girls, the Matoy Twins. I'm Maya. And I'm Micah. And today, we are doing a long-awaited for mukbang. We haven't done a mukbang in a very, very long time, and you guys keep asking for one, so we thought, why not do a seafood boil mukbang? Because those are popping right now. Also, we don't eat seafood. Kind of clickbaited y'all there just a little bit. So basically, we did the egg boil, which went trending on TikTok like last year. So we have everything that goes into a seafood boil but the seafood. So everything's the same, we just don't have shrimp and crab, all the under the sea stuff. And we added ramen noodles, so super healthy meal. A super healthy meal. I also changed my shirt, y'all, because I got the seafood boil on my shirt, so it's the same day, we promise. And it's also 1 in the morning. That's why we're not dressed. It's becoming a consistent thing that me and Maya just don't get ready for videos anymore, so y'all get used to seeing these bared faces. Also, we haven't done mukbangs in a long time because if you guys don't know, your girls are on Twitch. We stream, it's free to watch. We eat and talk all day, every day on there, so every other day. Every other day. So in our seafood boil, we got some boiled eggs because we gotta get the protein in still. Like I said, ramen noodles. We got some papas, some turkey and beef sausage, and corn. I say we taste test it before we get into the questions. By the way, we were reading these assumptions that everybody has of us. I don't know who y'all think we are, but these assumptions are through the roof. No, literally, Maya and I are pretty much open books. You guys know we don't beat around the bush about anything, and we're not afraid to like talk about anything. So you guys pretty much know everything about us. And these assumptions are so insane. For some reason, people think we're fronting on social media, which is our whole thing, is that we tell y'all how it is. We show it how it is. Besides like all our crying a lot. You guys don't see a lot of that because people will call us sissy lalas. But yeah, I don't know what y'all expect from us. So cheers. Holy cow. That's pretty dang good. I haven't had ramen in so long, but if I were to eat it again, like constantly, this is the way to do it. It tastes so good. I was so scared it's gonna be salty, but it's not. It's like the perfect mixture of spice and salt. Okay, but wait, I want to try an egg because that was the whole reason why I wanted to make this. Because they make it look so good on TikTok. I should have got the sauce so I could dip the egg in it. Why did we get napkins? I got napkins. Oh. Okay, let's get into these assumptions because they're scaring me. Do you want to take a bite of it with me for my TikTok? Bro, come on. I hate this. Okay, so y'all know we couldn't just do no regular old boring mukbang. So today we're going to be answering some y'all's crazy assumptions. As Maya had mentioned, you guys left some crazy things. To y'all, they might not be crazy, but for me, they were crazy because I'm like, you guys know us already. So for y'all to be assuming these kind of things is pretty crazy. I think y'all just try and catch us slipping, honestly. Okay, we're just gonna start it off with the one that caught me most off guard because I feel like a lot of people have a lot of different assumptions about Maya and I in regards to our virginity. Now, this is a popular topic of discussion, especially on our Twitch, because people are just fascinated, I guess, with the idea that we're 21 years old and haven't laid down with nobody. For some people, this is awkward to talk about, and honestly, it does get kind of weird sometimes, the questions that people will be asking us. But then again, it's not something I'm ashamed of. We don't shy away from talking about waiting till marriage, because it is something that's very hard to do, and we have our struggles within it. We're human just like you. I don't know what it is, but people think because we're in the V gang that we don't know about stuff and how stuff works. And they also think we're like immune to hormones and being horny. I'm just being honest, but we're human just like you. We have the same temptations just like you. We just decide to contain it. So this assumption is you think you're better than everyone because you're a virgin. This is one reason I hate talking about this subject. I mean, I don't hate it. The only time Mike and I bring up waiting for marriage is when people ask us questions about it. Like, for instance, I remember one of our friends telling us she feels really attacked. Like, we're shoving us being virgins down her throat. Like, basically. We're bragging about it. Yeah. And we're like, why do you feel that way? We only bring it up when you ask us about it, and we just give you our honest answer. It just makes you think about stuff, because anyone that I've had like an actual deep conversation with, 9 times out of 10, they said, wow, I wish I would have waited. And that's always been a fear of mine, you know, having that regret that I wish I would have waited. So I'm just holding myself accountable to wait so that I don't have to go through that emotional withdrawal. I mean, it's obviously rare. A lot of people don't do that anymore. It's the thing to just, you know, lay down with anyone. Mike and I don't care if people lay down with people or they don't lay down with people. Like, that does not bother us. Your body, your choice. As long as you're not hurting anyone, why would I care what you're doing? To each their own. I do not care if my friends sleep with 10 people, 1 person, 20 people. Like, I don't care. That's you. I still love you for you. We're still vibing. Like, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me at all. We have friends that are just like us that are waiting, and we also have friends with tons of experience, and when we have questions, they answer them for us. And I wish people didn't make such a big deal about waiting till marriage in general, because it's not a big deal. It shouldn't be a big deal. Like, it's not that drastic of a thing, in my opinion. And the fact that some people would assume that of us also is kind of crazy, because we've talked a lot about how we don't mind if our partners haven't waited. I was gonna say that any dude I've ever talked to has not been part of the V gang. They've all done that, been there, done that, and I didn't look at them no differently. All I care about is if we're together and we have the same agreement as far as waiting till marriage. Now, I do care to a certain extent of what their body count is, but that's, again, just with my significant other, whoever that may be in the future. As far as my friends, strangers, anyone, I don't look at nobody differently at all. I've barely met anyone who's also waiting for marriage, so why would I think that I'm better than anyone else? If anything, people think I'm not cool because I don't have experience. So I don't think highly of myself in that way, like putting myself on a pedestal compared to anyone else, because if that was the case, I think I'd be looking for someone who's also waiting. I hope we don't come off as better than people because we haven't laid down with someone. Make it make sense. Y'all, this potato is purple. It's a purple potato. Think about it this way. Y'all would not know we were waiting till marriage unless we shared that information with y'all, which we have chosen to do. So granted, there's gonna be questions. Same goes for everyone else in this world. When we meet someone or we engage with someone, we don't know their body count. We don't know if they have the same promise to themselves as we do to us. So why would I judge them or treat them any different as I would someone else? Like, it just makes no sense at all. I don't care. It does not matter. We could sit here and talk about that topic all day, but just wanted to point out there, we love you for you, no matter your body count. Do you. Don't worry about us. And we're not here to brag about it. If anything, we have no knowledge on what that's like. So there's nothing to brag about. Nothing to brag about. The next assumption is that you guys want to move into your own apartment. Now, oh my gosh, excuse me. As you guys know, or maybe you don't if you're new here, Mike and I are 21 years old. I know, we look like babies, and we kind of are. We're mature in ways, like spiritually and mentally, but if you put us out in the real world, all hell will break loose. Mike and I are not prepared to move out on our own. We literally had mom and dad kill bugs for us still. I just had mom kill one yesterday. No, this morning for me, because I cannot do it myself. I personally feel like it has nothing to do with that. It's more so the fact that the housing market is garbage right now. Also, we're not in a place in our life right now where we need to be on our own. Like, it's not mandatory at all. We're comfortable at home. Our office is here. Our mom and dad are huge parts of this little company that we have going on. So being away from them just doesn't make sense right now, because when we do decide to live on our own, we want it to be in our dream state of Arizona.
You think you could take care of yourself on your own right now? Not financially, but I'm talking about like you'd be able to go get your oil change. You'd be able to...
No, I would still call dad about that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think we're ready in that sense.
I don't think you'll ever be ready. I think whether we move out now or when we're 40, it's still gonna be a learning process. It's just a matter of throwing yourself out there. But yeah, I'm terrified, and I know as soon as I move out of my parents' house, there will be no moving back in, so I'm trying to soak it all up. Well, I'm just assuming.
We can move back in. I don't know, mom and dad take really good care of us over here. I mean, did y'all see our room transformations? I love my room and I'm forever grateful, and I know our parents for a fact would love to have us here for the rest of their lives.
Oh, they're definitely dreading the day we move out.
There's no rush for us to move out, but we have talked about it with one of our close friends, so it's something that is being talked about, just we're not in no rush to do it.
Right. And like I said, the housing market is garbage right now, and we want to invest in a home, and buying a home is just not the move right now at all.
Bro, this corn, have you tried the corn yet?
Mm-mm.
It's so good.
Next assumption is you won't date someone who's not an influencer. I don't know why people tend to think that influencers only date influencers. I have no idea where that logic comes from. I personally would rather stay single the rest of my life than date someone in the same industry as me.
Listen, Mike and I don't even like to be called influencers. That word grosses me out. What are we influencing? We didn't sign up to influence people. We were just having fun, and then it turned into this. We don't know how we got here. But we prefer the word content creators, and no, I want a man that like doesn't like social media, will take my Instagram pictures for me. But yeah, I don't want my man like on social media. I don't want him making thirst trap TikToks. It is such a turnoff when guys make thirst trap TikToks, and I know I'm on TikTok.
Yeah, we're hypocrites when we're saying all of this. Keep that in mind, because I know we post that stuff, but
I don't want my man posting it. Something about it is just so weird to me.
I think the thing about it is Maya and I like to have some normalcy in our life. Is that a word?
I don't think so. I've never heard that in my life.
We still live very normal lives.
No, for real, our friends think we're like popping or something. They're like, can you get in contact with so and so? I'm like, I don't know who you think we are. Like, no one notices us.
Yeah, to me and Maya, we still live very normal lives, so I would like to have that traditional normal life with my partner, and I don't know, that's just something that I desire. I'd rather the social media stay between Maya and I, and we occasionally throw our significant others and our family into our videos. I would just like to keep it that. I don't want like to turn into a YouTube family channel or anything like that.
Well, my thing too is just like,
I like mine off the grid, basically.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Wait. Oh yeah, they say like don't mix business and pleasure, and I just feel like even though if him and I weren't making content together necessarily, we were still doing the same job, and I feel like that would just either turn ugly or butt heads, or I'm scared that I would see a different side of him on social media than I do in real life, and I don't want someone who's two-faced.
Also, we're very private when it comes to our love lives and who we choose to build with, and I feel like if our partner is on social media and we're on social media as well as influencers, content creators, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be hard to keep that out of the public. And I feel like once your relationship is out in the public, it becomes yours and the public's relationship. It's no longer y'all's relationship. I don't know, I just feel like it's easier to keep things offline. So I'm not opposed to it, I just don't see that ever happening. I'm full.
I know we haven't even made a dent in our food. Another one that we constantly get heat for. You have never tried to learn Spanish. That's kind of rude. I'm just kidding. Okay, so Mike and I have tried to learn Spanish. If you guys didn't know, when we switched from public to online school, they didn't have sign language like we did in public school. They only had like French and Spanish. So we were like, hey, this is a perfect time for us to finally like have time, sit down and learn our people's language. No, your girls took 2 years of Spanish. It was worse than physics for us. I don't know what it is. It's just very hard for us to pick up on it. So yes, we have tried to learn it. We made flashcards. We would sit down in the living room with mom and dad for hours and like study basic words. The pronunciation is just not there.
Pronunciation.
I can't even pronounce pronunciation. Like, it's just the congregations. I don't even know what it's called. All of it's still very confusing to me. And like, when you say something in English, it's backwards in Spanish.
Like, you can know all of the words in a sentence for Spanish, but when you form the sentence, they're not in that order at all. And it just, I know, it sounds like we're making up excuses, but it was 2 years, y'all. But we took 2 years, and it was so hard. Sign language, freaking easy, bro.
Things come differently for everybody else. We would get like a packet of signs and sign language, like 100 signs we'd have to learn by the end of the week and get a test on it, and we'd ace it. It was so easy for us to pick up on and understand, whereas Spanish, it was just not there for us. It was not clicking, you know? There's stuff that you can't do, and Spanish is one of the things we can't do.
I just feel like it's a little bit unfair when people hold that against us, because 9 times out of 10 you were taught at a very young age Spanish, and when you're a child it's easier to learn a language. Yes, either way you were still taught. For us, only our dad is Hispanic and he barely speaks Spanish. He can only carry on basic conversations with people. He speaks very broken Spanish, aka like Chicano, whatever. And our grandparents, them growing up, it was like frowned upon for them to speak Spanish. They were supposed to learn English. Spanish is actually our grandpa's first language. So for those reasons, they never taught us Spanish.
Our grandpa told us he struggled really hard in high school because they forced him to learn English. So he didn't want that for us growing up, so he just refused to teach us, which I could see where like he meant that wholeheartedly. Like, there's no ill intent with not teaching us Spanish. But did it come back to bite us in the arse? Yes, it did.
Your girls were signed to a Spanish television network for like 4 years, and we didn't know Spanish.
But they didn't care. It's like normal for the newer generation to not know Spanish, and it is sad because we're losing our people's language. But no one gives us heat for not knowing German and Thai. Like, we're also that. If you know Spanish, I envy you. I'm very jealous of you.
Just know that we've tried. We've tried. That's all that matters.
And y'all seen us pronounce some Spanish words on this channel. That's us actually trying to pronounce them, and it just sounds so southern.
That's another thing. Like, it's a lose-lose situation regardless. We get heat for not knowing Spanish, and then if we did learn it and spoke some every now and then, like Spanglish, we would get heat for our pronunciation.
It's a lose-lose.
So we're gonna get dragged regardless for being whitewashed, I guess.
Ugh, just hate us.
Next assumption is, I assume you swear off camera. Oh my Lanta, y'all.
How dare you say that about us?
It's so funny because we started YouTube when we were 17-year-olds or something like that, right?
I think we were younger than 17.
We were on YouNow and Musically at 15.
Yeah, we were like 16 when we started our channel. 15, 16.
So we've been doing social media for, I think this year is gonna be like 7 years. That's a long time. So basically, yes, we were children when we started. We weren't gonna cuss on our stuff. We're very family friendly. Sometimes we get a little rated R with our topics of conversation, but you guys never see us cuss online or anything like that. Now, you guys might see in some videos here recently, like, we'll put in the captions or the subtitles like a little cuss word, but it'll always be,
there's little asterisks in there.
Little asterisks, yeah. So it's like still clean, you know what I mean?
It's not that we don't cuss, we just like to be ladylike. And every time I hear somebody cuss, I'm like, you sound silly. Now, when I sing songs, I pretty much say the words in the song, besides,
how dare you?
Yeah, besides, of course, the obvious one, like, we don't even go around that word because it's not appropriate.
Like I said, we started 7 years ago, social media, so you guys are growing up with us. Things are gonna change as we grow older. We're gonna act more grown. So I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all and say that we don't cuss. We cuss. I just prefer not to do it online because, like I said, we're family friendly. It's not ladylike, it's not cute. And most of the times when we cuss, it's like, you guys, it's out of frustration or singing a song.
We're normal people.
We're normal people, y'all.
Kind of. Like, to a certain extent.
To a certain extent.
This one's so silly to me. You guys party a lot and love to drink and have tattoos.
That's a lot going on in that one assumption.
I don't know if you guys could tell, but your girls are practically naked. We have 0 tattoos. If I were to get a tattoo, I'd want it to be able to be seen. Micah and I hate when we have, like, just even when we go to the club and have a marker on us, when they used to put the X's on us. We're 21 now, so we don't have to get the X's. But I hated just having that on my hands, and like, I'd immediately want to wash it off. So I couldn't imagine putting something permanent on my skin. And I also hate needles.
It's the commitment thing for me. I just know a week later after getting a tattoo, I would want it to be something else, or I would want it removed. I'm a very indecisive person, and I know for a fact that I would never be able to commit to something so permanent on my body. Nothing against tattoos, that's just my personal opinion.
The last 2 guys I've talked to have had tattoos, so I don't care about tattoos. Obviously it depends what they have on them. Like, they can't be having something crazy on them. But as far as tattoos, I don't care if my significant other has orgasm.
As far as the partying and drinking part of the assumption goes, we just turned 21. We are very responsible when it comes to drinking.
We always make sure to have a DD. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but we're very responsible when it comes to that stuff because we don't play around with it. If we have one sip of alcohol, we're not driving. So mom and dad will come pick us up. For some reason, people think we're alcoholics. Anytime people see us drinking on our socials, they,
whoa!
what the hell's wrong with you?
What is wrong with y'all?
You guys went from 0 to 100, but I'm like, Mike and I don't ever leave the house. So for y'all to think that we party a lot is insane to me, because when y'all do see us party, that's once every other month. And we don't ever drink at the house. We only drink when we go out. So if we're drinking once every other month, I'm confusing myself.
Yeah, you're confusing me. Anyways, even if we have like a glass of wine at a restaurant with friends, we arrange driving plans, whether a friend picks us up or our mom and dad pick us up. We take that stuff very seriously, and a lot of our friends give us crap about it because they're like, are you serious? Like, we're just driving up the street. I don't know if you guys know this, but most accidents happen when you're like right around the corner from your house. That's like an actual statistic. Also, we've had deaths in our family due to drinking and driving. So we're just very responsible when it comes to alcohol. And we're 21, so of course we're gonna party.
Not only that, but like Micah just said, we just turned 21, so we're still like figuring out what drinks we like and don't like. So to some people, I guess it looks like a lot. I've only been drunk or tipsy a handful of times in my life. Mike and I,
for me.
we don't wild out. I think I've only been tipsy and drunk like 4 or 5 times. We don't wild out. I'm really a lightweight, so like 3 shots will do it for me and I'll be good. I'm a beer girl, so I have like 1 beer bottle. I don't know, we don't drink a lot.
Next assumption is you have random urges to take a break from all socials. To be honest, I always say this. If social media wasn't our job, I highly doubt I would ever be posting on Instagram. I personally despise taking pictures, and I don't know if us being in this industry has had an effect on that or not.
I think so.
1, I'm just not a photogenic person, and 2, something about just posing forever and like taking pictures of yourself comes off very conceited to me. I'd rather be doing something else with my time, but I enjoy editing and stuff, and part of this job is posting pictures on your Instagram, being active on your socials. So
you can ask mom, she'll be like, please let me take y'all's picture right here so that we all have something to post. And we're like, no mom, there's people. I'm always scared that we're gonna be on one of those influencers caught in the wild.
Don't get me wrong, sometimes I'll be feeling myself and want a picture on the snap or something, but as far as like actually posing for Instagram pictures and stuff, I mean, if y'all follow us, you know I barely post on my Instagram. People have to remind me to post on my Instagram because I'll just go ghost on there. So yeah, it's not something that I like, it's not something that I hate, but if I could, I would definitely take as long of a break as possible on all socials.
I mean, everyone has their ups and downs. I just recently got out of another down. For some reason, when your stuff doesn't perform well, it's not about the numbers at all. But like when you work hard on something and then it doesn't perform well, it messes with you. Kind of mentally, it's like, oh, well, how come people aren't liking this? Or like, what did we do wrong? Or are we not entertaining? It makes you start thinking, but you just gotta remember, it's just a video. It's not that deep. And the freaking filters and stuff that TikTok be putting out nowadays just messes with you. It's like, I don't look like that. Why is this a filter? It's a whole thing. And yes, I would love to take breaks and stuff. And I think we do. We're very good about, hey, this is family time. Let's put our phones down. And our thing is like, we like to watch movies with our friends. So that does involve Discord, but only because our friends are long distance. But we're people persons.
Just how you guys get burnt out from school or your regular work, whatever it is that you do, we get burnt out as well.
I think you guys can see it in our videos sometimes. Like there was a point where we filmed 10 videos ahead because we had a lot of traveling, and towards the end of those 10 videos we filmed, you could just tell we were like no sleep. Y'all are so quick to tell us we look tired.
That was another assumption that I saw. I didn't screenshot or anything, but someone said it's okay to not be okay sometimes. I feel like sometimes you guys are pretending to be okay on camera just for the sake of the video. Like I said at the beginning, you guys know that we keep it real with y'all. If you're on our Twitch streams, we vent on there 25/8. But yeah, me and Maya are human. Like we keep saying, we go through episodes throughout our lives and we deal with crappy things just like you guys do. So there is times where we feel depressed or super sad or overwhelmed and stressed. There's been times where we've had mental breakdowns, one of us, right before turning the camera on.
Oh my gosh, stream has seen it all. We had a huge brand deal one time on live, and it was a whole ordeal. I wanted to cry as soon as the camera turned on because we were messing up everything and it was not going accordingly. It sucks when there's people like relying on you, like the brand, and you can't perform well like they want you to, and it's a lot of stress.
So I don't want you guys to ever never feel like we're like putting up a front like we're living such wonderful lives, because we'll always tell you how we're feeling at the end of the day, but at the same time, this is our work. We do provide financially for our family. I mean, they also provide for themselves as well because they take part in this, but us putting out content is a big part of that. So just like you guys have to wake up on days that you don't want to and go to work, we have to wake up and go to work.
I wouldn't trade it for anything. I love our job. I'm very grateful for the position we've been put in. It is a lot of pressure at times, but you know, you just roll with the punches and it's worth it at the end. But yeah, Twitch has seen us cry plenty. We've argued on live. It's embarrassing to say, but we have, and they were there to see it.
And even if you can tell that we're sad in the video and it seems as though we're putting up this front to get through the video and put content out for you guys, that's never really the case. I'm a people pleaser. I know if I don't put out this video for people, it'll make them sad and their bad days will become worse, because people have told us that themselves, like, you are my stress reliever. So if I don't put stuff out and relieve people's stress for them, then they become stressed, and I would never want you guys to be stressed. I would rather me be stressed. So I just suck it up, as Dad would say.
But also, we don't fake anything on the internet. So there has been times where we set up the camera and filmed, and in the middle of it, like, we either broke out in an argument or like one got really anxious, started crying, so we just cut the cameras and then that video never got uploaded. Like, we're human, stuff happens. We're not smiley and bubbly 24/7.
And at the end of the day, even if we have a stressful day, we're arguing with each other, whatever, when we put a video out and we get to read y'all's comments and you guys being so kind and supportive of us, that automatically makes us feel 10 times better. So I promise it goes both ways.
All the sweat and tears that go into editing, because editing takes so long, is worth it once we see y'all's comments. Keep the comments up, because our comment sections, I think, is one of the most positive on YouTube. If there's ever a hate comment, it's like 1 in a million. So,
and it's from a random.
Yeah. Next assumption. Y'all have boyfriends on the DL. If you don't know what DL means, it means down low. No.
No, Maya and I are both very much single, not even close to being in a talking stage, don't even really like nobody.
Are we excited to say that? Not
No.
necessarily. I would love to have a boyfriend right now. I go to dream, I go to sleep wishing I had someone next to me to cuddle with. And Micah's like, oh my gosh, we can have a sleepover tonight. No, it's not the same. I want a man. I need a man.
That's not to say that we've never had relationships on the DL.
I haven't.
I don't think I've ever addressed this on YouTube just because I never felt the need to, but your girl has been in a relationship before. It was a very long one. It was my first and only one ever. Only dude I've ever dated, ever gone on dates with, anything like that. So, shocker to you guys, I don't know. Twitch knows. I've also had my first kiss, like, crazy, right? Yeah, I was 18 when I had my first kiss. To give you a little rundown.
What was that like? Because I don't know.
I'm gonna give you guys a little rundown really quick because I already know there's gonna be questions, but I don't want to dig too deep into it because that's like over with, you know what I mean? I met this dude when I was 17. We started dating officially when I was 18 and broke up April of 2021. So that seems far away, like it was over a year ago, but it still feels like it was yesterday. But yeah, I have nothing bad to say about him. It was a very great first love, I'll say that. And I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna start crying.
Are you? Don't cry. Do not cry. This is not worth the tears. Trust. Put the cameras in. I have never been in a relationship. I have talked to guys. I've gone on dates with guys. Still haven't had my first kiss. Yeah, don't clown me for it. All my friends give me crap about it. I'm not trying to make it into this fairy tale thing. Like, I don't want something magical to happen for me to have my first kiss. I just want it to be with someone that I know, like, something's gonna solidify with, like a relationship, you know? And every time I've had the opportunity to have my first kiss, something in my gut always told me, yo, something's wrong. So I'm like, okay, now is not the time. And then a week later, I find out that they had like a girlfriend or that they just didn't want to talk to me anymore. Stuff like that. Yeah, your girl has only ever went on dates and talked to guys, and I haven't found the right person yet to make things official with, so.
Don't even get me started because your girl has been put through it.
Oh, me too.
That's why I'm choosing to be single right now. Like,
no, not me.
I literally cannot bring myself to even try and go on a date. Like, I've been asked on a few dates and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I cannot. I don't want to be put through that again. Please.
I do want a partner and I'm excited to experience what genuine love is when you love a person and they love you back, and I just haven't had that yet, and it's kind of scary to think about.
Trust me, if I could be married tomorrow, I would absolutely. That's like all I look forward to in this life besides being a mother is becoming a wife. It's the fact that you have to like relearn someone, and the thought of someone asking me my favorite color literally irks me to my core. So I'm just like far away from that as possible right now.
I don't want to be sad right now, so let's let's move on to the next question. I feel like you haven't ate anything.
I'm not hungry anymore.
But it's a mukbang.
Last assumption is you act broke to stay rich.
Do we carry ourselves like we're broke? We're not rich, but we have enough money to get by.
I don't know why people think we make like so much money or something. You have to remember, we're financially providing for our family. So there's like 4 of us. That's why
They
we
ask you guys to watch the ads. There's car payments. There's bills.
Don't get me wrong, I know there's influencers out there that be making crazy money, but we make enough to stay comfortable. We live comfortably. That's all I'm gonna say. We're not rich, we're not broke, we're comfortable, and I'm grateful enough for that. So I don't even know where you guys are getting that we act broke. Is it the way we look on our videos?
Is it this? I think so.
It might be that, but what you see is what you get. So if you want to think we're broke, if you want to think we're rich, that's up to you, because we don't talk money. So,
and plus it changes every month. You can get 0 views next month and have no money.
I don't think people understand how inconsistent influencers' income is. Unless you have a set fee coming in from a contract or something every month, your money's up in the air.
The algorithm decides if you're going to be able to pay rent or not.
It's not as bad as it sounds, but I was trying to explain this on Twitch as well. When you get brand deals, you don't get paid for those brand deals till like months after the brand deal. So you can't even depend on the money that you know is gonna come in, because it won't come in till months down the road. Think what you want.
Not broke, not rich.
Comfortable and grateful.
Excuse me. I hope the camera angle is the same because our battery died. Y'all, I have no idea how people do the full-on mukbangs where it's just like silent and they have this whole tray of food, because I'm so stuffed and I barely made a dent in this bowl. But it was really good, so you guys should try it. I'll leave the TikTok to the recipe in the description box down below.
This week's post notification shout out goes to Celeste M. Thank you, Celeste. Thank you, Celeste. Thank you, Celeste, for
liking this video,
commenting tacos down below,
subscribing to your girl's YouTube channel. We're almost to 700K, you guys.
and following your girls on IG and Twitch. If you want to post a notification shout out in next week's video,
yay, we finally pointed in the same direction.
all you have to do is everything Celeste M did.
I hope you guys don't think like we're stuck up.
Yeah, that was another assumption.
That we're stuck up?
Yeah, and I've heard that a lot from my own friends. They said, before I ever met you, I assumed you were gonna be very stuck up. And I don't know if that's how we carry ourselves or what the case may be, or just like the RBFs on our face all the time, but I promise you guys, we're not stuck up.
No, I don't think we are. There's no faking here, y'all. We keep it genuine with y'all. I mean, look at us. We don't even get dressed for our YouTube videos anymore. We never get dressed for stream either, so
What you see is what you get.
without further ado,
Adios, amigos.
and as always, stay beautiful, my loves.
Mwah. I cannot read.
I'm full.
We really hate our outro. We're asking for permission that we change it.
And our intro.
You guys were really mad when we changed our outro song, and that was against our will because of copyright. Now we're just asking for consent to change the corny outro.
What if we can change it to?
I don't know, but
Our intro. What's in between?